Hello, everyone. I am joined by Heidi Brandt today. Heidi, how are you?
I'm good, Cameron. Thanks for having me on today.
You're so welcome. Everyone, Heidi is a real estate agent in Nebraska and specifically works in the Lincoln market and also in Omaha. And Heidi, where are you? Are you in one of those cities? Do you live nearby?
I live in Omaha, so yeah, but my home office, home real estate, is actually in Lincoln. So I was living in Lincoln when I started real estate, and I love the company and where I'm at. So I have no intentions of changing. But yeah, I
So
live
you're
right now.
you're
I live in
back and
Omaha.
forth. You're back
I
from
do go
back.
back and forth.
How often would you say you make that drive on a weekly basis?
Right now it's almost daily, probably 5 or 6 days a week. It's an
Wow.
easy drive. It's all interstate. It's easy. I don't
Okay.
mind it. I'm getting a lot of audiobooks in, so it's not so bad.
Hey, that's great. That's great. Well, how long have you been in real estate, Heidi? And has it been all in Nebraska?
It has been. I just hit my 1 year mark. So
Congrats.
yeah, thank you.
And how did you get on this wild train of real estate?
I'll try to keep a long story short. I was originally had gone to massage school after college and then ended up in spa management and moved to the East Coast. So I spent about 13 years between Massachusetts, most of that up in Massachusetts in the Berkshires, and then a couple years in Hilton Head Island, South
Wow,
Carolina,
that's cool.
and swore I'd never move back to Nebraska. But you realize that that's not always true when you're making decisions in your mid 20s. Um, so I moved back about 3 years ago and just was trying to figure out. I was in high end spa management, and that world doesn't really exist here, which is okay. I was burned out anyway, and have just always been interested in real estate and like interior design and maybe flipping houses or income properties. All of that is such a big picture
Right.
that I just pulled the trigger a year ago and got my real estate license and decided to just go for it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really cool. That and in these last years we were talking before the interview, just so everyone knows, you've been able to help. How many people has it been just in a year? Starting out?
About 14 closings.
That is great. That's awesome to help 14 people in the last one last year. So, with that being said, Heidi, what advice would you give someone looking to move to Nebraska, Omaha, or Lincoln right now?
I guess my advice if they're looking to move here is, obviously depending on why they're coming and is to, if they have kids and a lot of factors in that is look at the school systems and the areas that they're most interested in, extracurricular activities. There's so many different variables when it comes to even between Lincoln and Omaha, as close as they are geographically, they're such different markets and different such different living environments. Lincoln is very much a college town, University of Nebraska,
That's right.
which is go Huskers all the way. If you're born and bred here, there's not much else going on other than Husker football and volleyball. So, and then Omaha is Omaha has Creighton and a lot of the medical UNMC, and it's just a completely different environment. But both are amazing in their own ways. So I would just tell people to kind of do their research, reach out to a real estate agent or somebody that can help them navigate through that if they don't know, the areas very well, because there's good and bad about both places and positives and negatives, and it just depends on what people are looking for.
Totally awesome. Moving forward, Heidi, I know that you're big on Instagram and you're really looking to help people. I'm going to actually pull that up right now. So let me pull that up so everyone can see. There we go. Here's Heidi's Instagram page, Heidi Brandt Home Real Estate. Awesome, awesome. And Heidi, tell me what is your main goal? If someone were to follow you on Instagram, what is your main goal and what are you trying to do with it?
I think Instagram is a great way for me to just share content and to kind of try and educate people. There's a huge um, I don't even know what the word is. There a lot of people, especially with like COVID and everything going on, think that the real estate market is dead right now, and that could not be further from the truth. So for me, it's using it as not just personally of like, if I'm doing open houses, I'll do stories and take people through and um, you know, little local things like that. But it's also a great way to post articles, whether they're nationally or locally, just to get information out there to people for education purposes. And a lot of people don't have a clue that the interest rates are at all-time lows.
This
Whether you're
post
looking
right
to
here,
I
interest
know,
rate
of course, and
buy down house.
that's a perfect post right now because I had a couple people comment like, "Oh my gosh, I should look at refinancing." Like,
Right.
yes, you should. It might be, it could save you if you're in the 4 or 5%.
Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, thousands of dollars if you're staying in that house for
Yeah,
a while. So
that's right.
it's a fun Instagram to me is a fun way. And I add some personal stuff in there. I think people like to know. I obviously I have a dog and he makes the best pictures. So I think people kind of like to get to know behind the scenes a little bit too. And with stories, Instagram makes that really easy. So
Yeah, stories are great
mhm.
to interact with people. You feel like you know people more without having to take time out of your day to really communicate with them, which is
Yeah,
can
and
be a
people want
good
to
and
know
a
you're
bad thing.
real
Yeah,
and
right.
goofy and yeah.
Fun. Yeah. Well, that's great. Go give Heidi a follow. She'd be great. And Heidi, wrapping up, I got one final question for you, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know this. Why work with you over another Nebraska real estate agent?
That's always a good question. I think working with me is just I try to make it fun. Like this could be one of the most stressful. It's one of obviously the biggest purchases of
Purchase.
someone's life, and I work a lot of times with first-time home buyers, and it's overwhelming the process of like getting pre-approved and where to go and where to start looking and all of those things just in a big picture seems really overwhelming to somebody, and just having the connections on my side of introducing them to the people that can get them through that process and then going out and looking at houses and that becomes the fun part. Sometimes we look at some doozies and we just have fun doing it. So
Yeah.
I the knowledge of working in high-end spa management and all different kinds of people from all over the country and just bringing that experience with me back to Nebraska, I think has been a very big asset for working with all kinds of people even around here. So yeah,
I love that.
it's an experience all the way around for everybody, but it's always try to make it fun instead of stressful.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. And from what talking with you, you seem like a very fun person. If I was in Nebraska, I would choose you. But Heidi,
Awesome.
thanks for joining us. If you go and give Heidi a follow, and yeah, Heidi, again, thank you, and we'll talk later.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Cameron.
Goodbye.